All right, a guy that knows the feeling of winning a Super Bowl is Roman Harper. He joins us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Harp? How are you?
What's up, fellas? How are you guys?
Doing great. Thanks a lot. Can you put into words? I want to ask about a guy like Whitworth, who is a Hall of Fame tackle, has been a great player in the league, and has had this long career, and he finally gets the ring last night. What is that feeling like?
Well, there's no better way than going out on top. That's what he will eventually have done. I mean, how many Pro Bowls has he been to? I don't even know. He's been to a ton of Pro Bowls either. He's just been playing forever. Been constant, great player, right?
Yep.
It's crazy because the very first time I ever swung a golf club was with him at the Playboy All-American outing in going into our senior years of college. So I've known him for a very long time, and he's a great person. Also for some other guys that got to do it, Odell Beckham, extremely happy for him. Matt Stafford, who almost gave the game away, like he got the win too. So everybody as a team collectively, they needed every single person to get that win last night. It was a great game. Commercials, I thought the Pringles commercial where the hand got stuck was the best commercial. The halftime show. For me, it's all about everything else in the Super Bowl, especially when I don't really have a team that I'm cheering for specifically.
Well, Harp, if the Bengals would have held on and won that game, the moment would have been when Odell went out because the Rams were out of weapons and they couldn't do anything offensively. The moment for me, though, and Brown and I were discussing this a second ago, with 14-18 left in the game, when Burrow gets hit on the sideline by Aaron Donald, and there's a little melee there, and I forgot which offensive lineman it was. He kind of poked Aaron Donald and literally poked the cage, and he was a man possessed after that, completely dominated defensively. But my question to you is speculation before the game, Aaron Donald at 30 would retire after this game. They asked him after the game. He said, I'm going to enjoy the moment. I'm going to figure it out. It just seems like there's just too much left at 30 to retire this early. Would you agree?
I do agree. He's still one of the most dominant forces in all of football. I just think that's a little too early. Some guys, they feel these moments and that, you don't know if you're ever going to get here again. You have this pressure to, all of a sudden, do I want to go out on top? Is there going to be any other feeling? It's a lot of emotions going into a football game, especially with nerves, outside family. Aaron Donald, nobody thought he was going to be as great as he's been, as a dominant player as he's been able to be. So you have all these things going into it. But I have difference of opinion that, just because Rodney Harrison says that statement. Now it's raw. Everybody's all in on it. And for me, when I hear from Aaron Donald, I'll believe it. The same way I had the same respect and just time factor when it came to Tom Brady's decision, whether who released it early or not. I won't put words into another young athlete's mouth like that and say what they're going to do. For me personally, the moment was when Cincinnati's driving. At the end of the day, I didn't care about the Rams scoring that last touchdown. I figured they were going to score 7 at some point. That's just how football goes. The biggest thing for Cincinnati was getting the ball back in Joe Burrow's hands. And why in the world did that coach decide to run it on that 3rd and 1 when you already did that in the first quarter? You failed. Then you ran again on 4th down, and you failed. Give the ball to your best player, which is Joe Burrow. Allow him to go out there and win the game for you, which is what he did in the first half on 3rd or 4th and 1. What'd he do? Quarterback scramble, 1st down. You must let your star players be stars in these moments. Don't give it to the running back when you're trying to be conservative. It was a bad call. Now you're forced to have to get it on 4th and 1 when you have plenty of opportunities to just do what you need to do, continue to drop back, throw the ball on 3rd and 1. That was the moment. Up until the point, it was back and forth, ebb and flow of the game. That was, to me, was the big determining factor, was the 3rd and 1 on the last drive for Cincinnati Bengals.
There'll never be a call as bad as the Saints-Rams NFC Championship pass interference situation, no call. But the no call on the Bengals touchdown on Jalen Ramsey, no dog in the fight, but that's one of the worst calls in the history of football. When are they going to? When are they going to?
It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're going to have to stop. Look, it's not an even playing field. Everybody knows it. I'm a defensive back, and if you're expecting them to throw a flag on a wide receiver that's pushing off, keep waiting on it, buddy. Keep waiting on it. It ain't happening.
That's what I was getting to, Harp. They call every tic-tac foul on the DB, and they let this guy grab the face mask and turn his head. That is not fair to me.
No, it's not fair, but life's not fair. So we're like, next question. Like, Like, when it comes to my kids and everybody else, I don't want to hear about fair in life. I don't want to hear about it because it ain't. It's not fair. It's not a level playing field. They want offense to have all the advantages. Like, get over it. We play DB. I don't want to hear about it. Next play. So that's the mentality. That's what Jalen Ramsey must understand. So you can have your arms up all you want, but you're not going to get the call. And those referees, I thought they did a pretty good job all night of not throwing anything. And then all of a sudden they threw everything in the last drive to get the Rams into the end zone. So it was LT's happy about it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just letting you know, as a defensive back, we're never going to get that call.
A face mask is different than pushing, shoving, and hand-holding. I mean, that's a rip of the face mask. There's nothing you can do as a DB there. Nothing.
Yeah, but at that moment in time, the referee's not looking that individually close to his hand pulling up a face mask. He's not. That things are going way too fast. It's way too way. It's just that's not exactly where the ref's eyes are paying attention to. He's looking more towards body contact. Where's the collision point? Things of that nature. He's not actually paying attention that close. And when you slow it down, it's like, oh, he grabbed the face mask. Oh. But still, Jalen Ramsey still has to be able to stay up and try and make a play on the ball. Like, it's just what it is. He would say the same thing. I know your face mask got pulled, but you can't allow that to distract you enough to all of a sudden now not be able to make a play on the ball. Just as a professional, and he's considered to be one of the top, if not the top corner in the whole world, okay? The world. So if you're at that part of it, you have to be able to stand up, fight through a face mask, and make the play.
Saints Super Bowl champion, SEC Network analyst Roman Harper with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, @Harp41 on Twitter, @Harp_41 on Instagram. All of that said, another defensive back, if you're Vernon Hargraves today,
Wow.
How do you feel? You're like your first Super Bowl, you're not active, and you still draw a 15-yard unsportsmanlike. I mean, if I'm Vernon Hargraves, that's hard to swallow that one.
It was actually quite funny. Everybody's like, where'd they throw the flag at? I'm like, oh, yeah, the guy that looks like he could have came out of the stands.
Yeah, the guy in the sweatpants out celebrating.
Yeah. He didn't even have sweatpants, though. He had shorts, a little hoodie, some sandals on.
Yeah, he slides.
Like, yeah, he had the slides on. I was like, he didn't even have tennis shoes on. Yes, threw the flag on him. It was funny. I mean, for me, I really enjoy all the prop bets, right? Like if somebody will return a kick last night. I'm sure, like, when that field goal got blocked or something, that somebody was betting on it because I'm like, all right, just pitch it back, right? Don't go down. I wonder if there's a prop bet on an unsportsmanlike penalty for a guy not dressed to play. Like, I wonder if that was a prop bet. If not, it's going to be next year, and we're going to see what kind of action you're getting on it.
I thought about you last night, Hart, because I knew we were going to have you on the show today. And after NBC quit their coverage and went to the Olympics, I flipped over to the NFL Network, and I was watching Chris Rose and Joe Thomas, and Sean McVay came on set with them. And after the interview, when they were wrapping up, he's like, I'm not going to remember anything tomorrow. And he said, look, I'm getting after it tonight. And I just remember after you won that Lombardi with the Saints, I mean, you guys were on a bender, it seemed like for weeks. I know it was probably days. But what was that first, after you left the stadium, where did you guys go? How long did it really last?
So immediately after, man, we get back to the hotel. I just took a couple deep breaths. I got on my knees and prayed and thanked God just for being able to have this moment. Your whole life you play football, and, for me personally, I'd never won a championship except for Little League football. Outside of that, I'd never reached the pinnacle. And you play football, and you always have the end of the year meeting about what you're going to be able to do next year, and the things you have to improve on. And for the first time, you achieve it. And so really just sit back, absorbing all that. Then you're like, it is on. Now we're cracking drinks, right? So now we're going all in. You go to the after party that your team has, and lucky for us, we're in Miami. LA being a little bit different, just because I think the game got over at a decent time, so they all be able to go out to the clubs. But Miami, nothing shut down. So we're all in. So we got done by the game, but, 12, 1 o'clock. We're still got another 3 hours in the club. So we go from there. Then we had guys that didn't even sleep. We, by the time I was fortunate enough to go to, have some friends in town, and we did some other things. And we got home, and I had a person wake me up the next day, so I didn't miss the bus or my flight. Guys were still at the bar, like they never went to sleep in their robes and stuff. So, and then we got on the plane, and luckily we have a great coach in Sean Payton who loved to have a good time himself, who who was on the like NBC and was on all the TV shows the next morning looking extremely hungover. So he kind of set the tone with us. And so on the flight back, we're flying back. I don't think we stopped drinking. Like everybody just kept drinking and partying. And instead of landing, because as we were starting to land, we see cars pull over all on the interstates. Like everybody was back to welcome us back from the airport, which they were typically doing that, but this year was something special. And we took back off. We did another lap or two around the city flying because we didn't want to land. We're like, we pulled back up and we kept doing a couple laps, came back down. And honestly, LT, dude, I didn't stop partying. I did like 30-something, 40 days straight. Like I didn't take a night off.
Yeah.
For like a month and some change. I was in LA. I kept the party going. I partied literally all the way until I partied in New Orleans for about 2 or 3 straight weeks. Then I went out to LA and I stayed in LA for 3 months in the off season. And I partied probably the first 15, 20 days when I was in LA as well. So for me, it was about 40 something straight days.
Oh, so good. Roman Harper, the Super Bowl champion who partied for 40 days. Thank you, Roman. We always appreciate the time.
Thank you, man. Middle of the day off, nighttime, it is on. I thank you guys.
See you, buddy. Roman with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.